It might have us both up.
Probably because I joined already.
It still shows you.
No.
Okay. Okay, I can't. Sorry, I can't see nobody. So hold on. I don't know who's in where and what. Hey, 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 hey. I can't tell if anybody's in the chat or not because I can't see it.
Mm. No, nobody's in the chat.
Okay.
I mean, it says two people.
In the bushes.
Yeah.
Hey, in the bushes. What's going on? And if it is who I think it is, please get from under the bushes. It's because you're probably dripping on my hat right now. And that's disgusting. I can't. I don't see it. Oh, I finally see it. Hey, hey, hey. What's going on? Just waiting for some more people to get into the room before we get started. Please remember to hit that like button on your way in, please. It'd be appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's gonna come in like at one time. Somebody who else is live? Hey, hey. Welcome to the House of Congress. We're about to just get into some topics. It's been going on today. Hey, really B, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are officially, all of my mods are definitely chairman of committees. So you are officially a chairwoman of a committee in my house. Hey, hey, everybody's coming in. What's going on? What's going on? Like I was telling Really B, all of my mods are chairmen and women of various committees. And definitely, all right. Thanks, Jaden. I appreciate that. And all of the people inside, you are definitely state reps. So that's how we're going to do that. And I'm going to bring on one of my closest uh, chairman of the committee. And that's definitely my closest friend known to me, Mr. Credential.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Gotta let the people get to know who you are.
Most
You know,
definitely.
I can share my space.
We appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No problem. So, as a chairperson of one of the various committees, um, basically you mod like everybody else. So, and I appreciate it. And we've been close friends for a very long time. So,
Yes.
of course, there's no messing up. It's straight to it. So,
Right, right.
hello everybody in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. First, after we get the pleasantries out the way, of course, Mr. Credential, you have anything you want to say? Introduce yourself to the people.
Well, hey everybody. Something that I'm really big on that we are going to focus a little bit on tonight is mental health. I have been dealing with a lot of background with it just from my patients. I've been working in healthcare for about almost 15 years. I'm actually graduating next month with my bachelor's in business administration, human resource management. But all of those things have kind of afforded me the opportunity to know how important mental health is, and just from getting my own mental health together. So that's what my background is. So starting 2020, I'm going to be starting a support group here locally in Maryland to kind of focus on mental health and just everything that surrounds it, because a lot of people don't want to seek that kind of help out. And a lot of people also cannot afford to pay for therapy. So I kind of just want to do my due diligence with everything for everybody, and just really focus on getting the community. And when I say community, I don't mean just black people, I mean all people community better. You know what I mean? So look forward to more with that. Look forward to me being live on Captivating Christians platform for a little bit. And if you want to stay up to date, just go ahead and follow me, and look forward to more in 2020. And I appreciate y'all for being live today.
Cool, cool. So please make sure that you definitely click on him and subscribe and all that good stuff. And when he comes out with some content, be sure to take notice. First, of course, we're going to talk about Mr. Cosby. Now, this has been his first interview um, since he's been in jail. Since the verdict has been handed down, he is currently serving a 3 to 10 year, 10 year being the max sentence for uh, the I guess rape, I guess you would call it.
Hmm.
Um, so basically, in a nutshell, the article that he did with a black uh, news article, um, he basically talked about how he doesn't feel remorseful because he doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. He feels as if it was a setup. I don't know if any of you know, but he was due to buy NBC, and then once I guess talks kind of got going, things started coming up about him and the allegations. So he basically feels that the whole thing was a setup. He feels definitely that he is going to serve out his 10 years. Um, he doesn't think that he'll get paroled again because he doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. During his time while he's in there, he's been mentoring the other inmates, especially African American inmates, on how to empower themselves. Now, I think it's all kind of funny a little bit because he's the same one that when he was, free and doing his thing, he was definitely always chastising the African American community about everything. So to now be in jail and mentoring at 82 years old, mind you, is a bit much. But
Yeah.
anyway, how do you guys feel? Do you feel that he should be remorseful? Do you feel like it was a setup? That's kind of what I'm throwing out to the chat. And everybody's still saying hi to you, Mr. Chris. But go ahead. Anybody? You can go ahead.
Well, when it comes to thinking about Bill Cosby accusations. I can't even say accusation what he's been convicted of because he's in jail. It all to me goes back to mental health. And a lot of times when people, we always say, why does she act like that? Why does he act like that? Why do they do that? And we really got to take a step back and really look at what is wrong with them, what's wrong with him to cause
Mhm.
him to do the things that he did. Because
Right,
he's a repeat offender. He didn't do it once. There are multiple people who have come to the forefront and say, hey, I have had X done to me by X person.
right,
So my question is like, what's wrong with Bill Cosby? Has he been touched before?
right, exactly.
Because as I think a lot of people know, the cycle perpetuates itself.
Perpetuates. Yeah,
So
exactly.
I touch you, you touch me, we touch them, and it
Right.
keeps going. And
It
it's
does.
it's not
Yeah.
funny though,
Yeah. No,
but it does not come from anywhere.
right.
He
Like
called,
Jaden Nerd just said, he said, remember, he called the black youth dirty laundry, and he did. Yeah, he had a lot to say about black youth and a lot of about the African American culture as a whole, things we should and should not be doing. And yet now that the tables have turned, he has now become the mentor, or the mentee too, in a sense, because
yeah,
I don't think he's ever been in prison before.
yeah. But see, and in that room, you have to be careful with the abuser trying to be a mentor. Because how can you hurt me and then help me at the same time?
Right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't do both, without getting help yourself. Because I'm all for turning around and making your life better. But what has he done besides go to jail? Is he scared? So he wants to look positive? So
Right.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, again, dealing with your own demons before you project them to other people.
Oh, Abby talking about some real rehabilitation, child. Please, I'm just waiting for him to go in the glory.
He
He's
does need rehab though.
yeah, he does. But first he needs to deal with the issues within him. So
Right,
whatever that is, that thing that had him. I mean, I guess a little bit probably was power too, because power corrupts.
right,
Ultimate power corrupts, as they say.
right,
Absolute, rather. And I think that people get a little bit of power, especially someone who's been, um, I guess, uh, on the foot of power. I guess with power being on your neck, and then you finally get some. I think it kind of corrupted him a little bit to
yeah,
where people were at his realm and all that kind of stuff, and he ran with it.
yeah,
Um, and it got the best of him. Now,
yeah,
do I think he should have been, drugging these women and doing all that? No, because if you can't get it the normal way, then they don't want you.
right.
Um, but two, I think, I don't know, some of them like a Janice Dickinson and all that. I don't know. I think she might be a little falsified, but
Yeah,
the,
well, if that is true, think about this, okay? When we think about mental health and how it comes to someone abusing you, abuse can cause psychological issues.
yeah,
It can cause anxiety, it can cause depression, it
right,
can cause schizophrenia. I mean, you name it, all of the textbook cases can start from that.
right,
And a lot of people don't know that they need to get help. Like someone touched me, someone raped me. They do
right.
not know that because of this, I now need to go and get help. So what do people do? Like it's like it's a fine line between shame and being
Hmm.
prideful enough to say, "Hey, I'm hurt. Let me get help."
Hmm.
So that's my thought process. It's like,
Yeah,
let's focus less on shaming them and think about the pain that it caused, because I don't know how many people actually in the live can actually type in and say, "Hey, either myself or someone else is a victim of sexual abuse or molestation." How
yeah.
many of our people that are here today have seen it or been a part of it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can attest. I mean, just a personal story, real quick. That happened to me from a cousin, and I was really, really young, like 3, 4. So yeah, and as you know, that was, and to have that cousin be a close cousin, we talking about first, like maybe second cousin, yeah, second cousin, but around enough to be like first. So
Right.
that was, and then when I got older to be like, okay, this ain't what I don't want him around me.
Right,
It's hard to explain that to people who, because in our kind of community, we don't talk about it. It's not like it's yeah, you see something, say something now, but before growing up, especially when you're younger, it's like everybody kept these huge secrets, and it's like
right.
things it can go a little crazy and a little awry.
Yeah, I agree. I see that really B said yes over here. And I think that's where like with captivating is saying that's where it starts. It's like admitting that it happened to you and then
Yeah,
reaching your hand to the other person to help them to say, "Hey, it happened to me too."
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's where the healing starts cuz it happened to me too.
yeah.
A family member, a boyfriend of a family member who was really really close, it
Right,
happened to me.
right,
you know so it really it breaks down the walls that you have, the walls of protection and the emotional walls, but you have to also go back in and then build those walls back up.
back up. Yeah, you definitely do. True,
Yeah, it
true.
is, it is, Jaden, that it really is unspoken within our community, and that's the sad part, is because it's like a hush hush thing. We can't heal by being quiet.
Yeah, but I do believe it's sister. I believe that too. I believe it was a bit of a setup. I believe when he wanted to buy NBC, they was like, no, we're not gonna let this black man buy a conglomerate and be in charge of a huge network. No,
Right,
we're not doing that.
right,
Um, and so all the stories started to come out the woodwork because I mean it was like people say now, oh, that's always been the talk, that's always been the talk, that's always been the talk. How long has the Cosby Show been on?
right, right,
So I mean, it's like, yeah, it was the talk, but nobody stepped forward and really pushed it like that until he did that. Then, of course, with the Me Too movement, that went extra and it, catapulted. But all I'm gonna say is the white guy, what's his name, uh, Weinstein, he's out. So I mean, if you're gonna put the 82-year-old man, why not him? Why not he
right,
still in jail?
right.
Um,
It's selective as to
yeah,
who they choose to condemn. And I think that everyone who has illegally, if you will, touched someone needs to be condemned.
right,
Even if it was years ago, they need to be sought out to stop it. The only way
right.
to stop something is to deal with it.
Yeah, this is very true.
Yeah.
Hey, Lady T, what's going on? Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, Lady T. He dealt with. Oh yeah, yeah, that's true, Jaden. There.
Yes.
I want to take it a little step further to
Hmm.
even with the R. Kelly situation because it's kind of borderline in the same thing. And I don't want to talk about the mess. I just want to talk about how everyone was acting like it was suppressed.
Mm,
Like no one knew about it and they were surprised.
right.
I'm not sure how familiar with people well with this particular artist because he's a artist that was a local artist, but his name was Boss Man. And in 2004, he made a record called, I forgot, called Off the Record. And in the record, he said, I'm sick until I err with the best of both worlds when it's in R. Kelly is molesting little girls. So we are
Mm,
now in 2019. And nobody can say that R. Kelly didn't, like, nobody knew about R. Kelly when a rapper put it in his track. And
right.
before a track is approved to be released, when it's recorded, it goes through different channels. So apparently, there had to be some truth to an extent that for it to be actually published and made it okay for it to
Right.
go out to the community here. And
Right.
that's what I really want to do is I want to challenge people. It's not about hearing everything you believe, but if it has weight, think about it
Right. That's
because
very
it
true.
could be you.
Yeah, that's very true. My only issue with the whole R. Kelly thing is y'all knew he did that from watching them tapes. And so
Right.
now people are like, oh my God, cancel R. Kelly. Y'all wasn't canceling him when y'all saw the tape and then he was talking about I believe I could fly. And then y'all singing it in the church and at graduations and stuff. That little girl at the end of that tape was a minor. Okay?
Right.
Clues wasn't even fully
Right.
developed. Get out of here. You
Right.
already knew what he was. But
That's the problem. And
I,
it's yeah.
it's always like, you supporting, you're like, oh, well, well, he did that, and maybe he'll change his ways. Like, no, 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 he ain't changing.
Mm-mm.
Um,
It goes back to the leopard and the changing of
right,
the
changing,
stripes or the spots or whatever the word was. But yeah,
definitely. So, yep. So I guess we tied those two things all together. So
right.
moving right along, um, how do you feel about this impeachment thing moving forward? So far, the impeachment inquiry has now moved gears to the Judiciary Committee. Um, Chairman Nadler will be taking the reins from here on in, and they are now drawing up articles of impeachment. Basically, they're just getting the evidence from the Intelligence Committee, and then they will start to draft up charges. And the
You
charges
know,
be called the articles of impeachment. So, yeah, let's. How do you feel about that?
you
Don't do
know,
that, because when people do that, it
no,
makes me feel like they're getting tired, and you can't get
no,
tired.
no, no, no. I'm not tired. When I sigh in the thought of facts, and I
Right,
think about when Obama was in office, and if this would have been Obama,
Chuck.
what would have happened?
Right.
And I guarantee you, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt,
Well, yeah,
that it wouldn't go down this way.
they wanted to impeach the man for wearing a tan suit. No, let me repeat that. They wanted to kick him out of office for wearing a tan suit on a Sunday to go to church.
It
Like,
is insane. It is
these
insane.
people were crazy. So I mean, I don't know. I'm glad it's moving forward.
Yes, most definitely.
I'm glad it's moving forward. I do still believe that it may be tough to get a full conviction in the Senate when it gets there. But
Yeah.
impeached, he will be. He will have charges against him, and he will go to trial before the Senate. That will happen.
Yeah, I do believe that. I do, however, believe that they are numb toward him because he's done so much. He has a reputation of doing wrong. And as I said in the chat a little while ago, back a few lives ago, I think it was really B's live. I said, "What? Tell me one thing," and then anyone in the chat can drop in into the comments and let me know. Tell me one thing positive that Donald Trump has done, and I will wait patiently.
And not for himself. Well, I mean, people will say he's done the the prison reform, but that really wasn't for us, though. Let's be very clear. That's for him and his cronies, and it was mainly for Jared Kushner. His father is in jail right now,
Mm,
and
mm,
um, what's the Chris Christie, the fat guy who was running for president. He was the former governor of New Jersey. He was
mhm.
the prosecutor that put Jared Kushner's father in jail. So that's the main reason why Christie was not uh, in any of the cabinets, because Jared wasn't having it,
Mhm.
and Jared was pushing for criminal justice reform,
Right, right, right.
uh, lessen his father's sentence. But we'll say that it was doing it because there was so many incarcerated African Americans and brown people in jail, but not really. No, it's not for us.
But what does the presidential's accusation have to do with how many black people or brown people are involved in what?
Well, with the reform, is basically just to roll back a lot of the Rockefeller laws. Rockefeller laws are drug laws
Mhm.
that put harsher sentences on small quantities of illegal drugs.
Right.
So, um, but they didn't start that. I mean, Obama
Mhm.
started it, really, and they just kind of, climbed it up the ladder. But they only climbed it up the ladder. He only climbed it up the ladder to get his father out of jail. Personally, that's how I feel. Now, if
Yeah.
anybody feels different, let me know.
Yeah, I'm all for a good debate.
Right. I'm open
Um
to it, but I just think he did it for that reason.
yeah, yeah. I don't
Yes.
know. It really makes me think. Everything is so corrupt. It's like, what do you touch on?
Right.
Um, I'll take it more to the Baltimore area. I'll take it to Baltimore with Marilyn Mosby and everyone giving her pushback about the no longer prosecuting actually people with marijuana charges.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah. She is actually thinking about, well, actually not even doing, she's actively not doing it. And a lot of people are arguing about the people who are currently in jail or who actually have a record for either possession or whatever and how that affects them. But
Um,
she's getting a lot of pushback from it. And it's really, she's making the point, it's like, I can't go backwards and fix what happened before. I can't go back and change that, but going forward, if this happens, I'm not going to prosecute them. She's not saying that if you're out here dealing drugs that
right.
you won't be prosecuted. She's saying if you get pulled over by an officer or a state trooper that and
Mhm,
you have a dime bag or whatever they call it these days
mhm,
on you, I'm not going to prosecute that. You're going to go to jail because of a primary offense, whether it's a suspended license or whatever. But unless I catch you in the act of actually um soliciting or trying to sell drugs, I'm not going to prosecute that.
right. No, I get that. Actually, they had just released. I don't know if you caught my video earlier today. Three Maryland men that were in jail, incarcerated for 36 years. They were teenagers when they went in, 16 years old. They were accused of a murder for fellow classmates um, that I guess attended the same school they did.
Hmm.
Um, and they were just exonerated. And she's implementing a new program to where in which compensation will be given to those who are falsely incarcerated, uh, acclimating them back into society through education, physical and mental health. So I'm curious and waiting to see what how that works and how that looks.
Yeah, I think that's important because I think we should stop looking at the crime. Once they serve their time, we need to stop looking at the crime that they committed.
Mhm.
Because you wouldn't take a 18-year-old, well, you shouldn't take an 18-year-old and just drop them off into the world. You're
Right,
supposed to prepare them and develop them to a point where they'll be okay. And I think once somebody has served their time, regardless of the charge, we may not like it, it may be uncomfortable, but I
right.
think they should be afforded the same opportunity to be prepared to come back out into the world after being behind bars for 18 years.
Okay.
They may have mental health issues as well.
Okay.
'Cause
So that's
hmm,
a good question. So then my
okay,
question to that is, do you think, because somebody brought it up in their previous lives, and I thought that was a
okay.
good, um, that do you think people incarcerated should be allowed to vote?
Hmm. I think I'm gonna say no.
Okay. And why?
I'm straddling on. There's no maybe when it comes to this. I want to say yes because let me retract that. I say yes, and I say yes because they're still citizens. They've
Okay.
done wrong. They're in there. They're serving their time, and them voting still makes a difference. And
Okay.
we have to start to rebuild the community at some point. So unless
Mhm.
we treat them like civilians, how are they to know what a civilian feels like? What it feels like to be one?
Right.
And being a productive part of society inside of the jail could possibly lead them to be a productive part of society when they come out.
That's true. Very good.
And you want to start building that. If they didn't have it before they got sentenced, they should start to get it while they're sentenced, than to put them back out into the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. That's
Um, it's a tough
yeah.
situation, but I think they
It's,
still
it's not,
deserve the right.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
kind
half and half, but I can see it from both sides.
of,
I would not argue with anyone who disagreed with me.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally. But I agree with you because I also think that the way the system is set up and how a lot of the jails are, let's be very clear, they're poor, they're the worst of the worst, some of them. Um, that if they were actually allowed where their vote was counted, it would change a lot of things within the system itself. And
Yeah,
then maybe could possibly start changing the actual, criminality of things.
I
But
agree.
I think the system itself needs to change from within. And the only way to do that, if the politicians are seeing that, first of all, it's more of us in there than it is of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's more votes,
Right,
us to say, hey, you're not doing right by us. And that's one thing that we need to start doing, period. We need to start holding our local officials as well as, other government officials accountable for things that they're not doing instead of just pacifying it like, oh, they'll get around to it. No, 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 no.
right, right,
It's time to really start doing that. So,
right. So my
I
question, I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
My question to you is, if we are, well, if people who are incarcerated are allowed to get degrees in jail, then
Yeah.
why would they not be granted the right to vote?
Right, because your vote has power.
Right. But if you're allowed to get a degree, you're trying to prepare them for something greater.
Yeah,
Voting could be liberating and something greater.
yeah. No,
So
I agree.
yeah. So I
But
mean, again,
right, but it's because of the population of the prisons,
right.
and that's more votes. You know what I'm saying? It's a way to kind of shrink the vote without
Mhm.
without
Mhm.
really saying, yeah, we're shrinking the vote by putting your black asses in jail.
Right.
Um, but it's a way to shrink the vote, and you
Right.
figure once you stop, once that stops, and you really start to say, hey, they have a voice too. Yeah, they're incarcerated in it, but the way in which they live, I mean, it's like anything. Like we used to talk all the time, and I used to tell you when I was doing the um, property management thing for my sister, and I
Mhm.
was like, hey, if you set it up a certain way and you move the people in there, not everybody's going to trash it because they're going to
Right.
say to themselves, like, yeah, I never had nothing like this. I
Right.
can't, I want people to come in and be like, "Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is
Right.
real nice." So
Right.
I'm gonna keep it up. But if I come into it and it looks like trash, and I've already come from where I come from, I'm gonna treat it just the way I see it.
Right.
So I think that the whole mindset has to change,
Yeah,
really.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that it shouldn't be looked upon as an us versus them. I think that no matter of your income, no matter of whatever you have to contribute, if you are granted the right for housing or whatever you are to get somewhere to live, you should be afforded the same opportunity as everywhere else, everyone else. I'm sorry, because it promotes productivity. Productive people often want to get into things and tap into things that they have not been privy to before.
Right, very true. Yeah, and like it's just the set. It's a lot of times it's hard for them to get jobs once they're released.
That is
Right,
true. Yes,
stigma, and
that's
it
very
needs
true.
to. There's something that needs to definitely change to where in which, I mean, I don't know if you send them out with some sort of, even if it's a different ID, to where in which you could sit there and say, okay, you've been incarcerated, but you've been cleared just like you do a security clearance, you've been cleared to do this. So that way they can actually get jobs and not have to settle for mediocre jobs that, work them under the table where they in fact feel less than anyway. So they wind up going back to the same thing that put them in jail in the first place because it's really nothing.
Right,
It's like working
right,
for peace. So I really like I said, the whole system needs to be revamped and it needs to be paid attention to. But the only way that will happen is if the votes, because when you start to talk to people about, especially politicians, about their voting electorate, oh, they'll pay attention to that before they
right,
pay attention to just a prison that
right,
they don't
right,
count your vote anyway, so it
right.
don't matter.
I'm looking at what I guess that is Verbe Stevenson. She said, I would agree. I'm sorry if you are not a she. It says, I would agree if I wasn't watching people who are not incarcerated still not voting.
Yeah,
Listen, that I do
I can't
understand.
say. I'm just gonna say.
But you can't let what other people are doing stop what you know is to be done. And
Yeah,
you also have to, just going back to mental health, if you have been in jail for 15 years, you get out of jail and you can't find a job, you can't find this. Nobody wants to do anything for you, and people are treating you like your history. Then
Mm,
where does that lead you? That leads down to that's where the killing starts. That's where the crime starts.
mm,
That's where the unproductive contribution to the streets start. It
right,
all starts in the mind, because if you treat them like they're less than, then guess how they're going to act? Less
right.
than. You have to show, for if they don't know that it's something better and something greater, you have to show them. And maybe we can just hope we can't change everyone, but we can try. Maybe if they start seeing lives like this talking about the change, maybe if
Mm,
they start seeing two brothers on here talking about something in an educated manner, we can only hope that people will want to engage in that.
right,
Creating the platform, creating the thing. And that's one of the things that I want to do and creating my group, is to let people know that someone's listening,
right,
someone cares.
right,
I'm here. I'm not a doctor, but I
right,
can help you. I
right.
have a stepmom who is into a field of mental health and
Mm,
medication and helping people who are stricken by their habits. You
mm,
know, Somebody helped me. I'm sure everyone in this live has been helped.
right.
We have to give that. We have to keep on perpetuating that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. And as far as people still not voting, like I always say, you have to be the change that you want to see. So
Yes.
when you see people not voting, you make sure you vote. And even if you take one person with you and two people the next time, that's what it's all about. It's about getting that out there because, you can only talk to some people so much about the sacrifices that people have made not too long ago. We act like, oh, that's so long ago. No, we still have grandparents that lived through
Mhm.
um, going to vote or not being able to vote,
Mhm.
and all those things, and lynches, and being intimidated at
Mhm.
the voting booths or whatever. So it's like it's not that long ago for us to ignore it and think, oh well, it had nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you because as at this moment they are chipping away at stuff like that right now.
Right. Right.
Because if your vote didn't matter, they
They
wouldn't
wouldn't.
try to suppress it. So they
100%.
suppress it for a reason because
Right.
it matters.
Right.
Um, so that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say about that is that, we all miss some, whether it's your parents, whether it's your grandparents, your great grandparents, whoever it is that you miss. The best way to honor them is to let the things that they fought for, or maybe their parents fought for, to live and reign in your life. And one of the ways of doing that is to get out here and vote, the thing that some of them could not do.
Mm, yeah.
Everyone may not want to be an activist, but you can activate your right to do what you need to do to make a change.
Right.
Who's taking away that?
They've taken for granted voting rights and restore continue to something action. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can
Yeah, I
see
can see that too. Um, Again, it's really no right or wrong, because we all come from different circumstances that
that.
lead us to think and act the way that we are. I mean, the way that we do. So, that's the big thing about uniting, is that we can all bring something to the table that can be so beneficial, that can help us or the people. People are going to come after us. They need to know how we live, how do we survive. The reason and the way that we survive today is
Right,
because what we were taught, the stuff
right,
that's in our blood, the stock, the things we saw,
right.
and the things that we do today is going to affect what happens after we are gone.
Mm-hmm.
The greatness that we have is starting right now.
Right,
Some of the greatest things that we'll ever be is going to be after we pass sometime,
right. Yeah,
because of the legacy
right.
that we leave.
Yeah, very much so. Hey, Yolanda, is Yolanda, how you doing?
Hey, Yolanda.
I that was it about that. I think the rest of this is just gonna be a Q and A. Anybody have anything to add? Um, oh, I do have one thing to say.
Okay.
This goes to a particular person. I know I said I wasn't gonna address this, but this is my very, 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 very last time.
Do your thing.
and I won't be out of place. I will say, you finding me attractive, okay, whatever. But what I will say to you in the most humblest way I know how, two things. One, I think you need to focus not on me, but I think you need to focus on getting that those damages from that library together. Um, because $10,000 is a lot of money. It ain't a little bit. So I think you need to focus more on making sure you pay that restitution and whatever probation you on. I think you need to focus on that more than focusing on um, what my locks look like. Uh, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but I mean, I guess if you can get together and get your golden senior citizens to come together and get their social securities, and you get your SSI, and you put it together, then maybe you can start to make a difference in that bill. So I think you need to focus more on that and less on again what my dreads look like, because from what I see from your living condition, you would not be able to afford to get my locks done. So, in the spirit of giving, I will give you this. Thank you, but Christian says no. Okay? All right.
Well, now that the doors of the church are closed and the offering has been collected, we shall move on.
Right. Now let's
Whew.
um so other than that, anybody got any questions in the chat, anything they need to say? Thank you guys for all stopping in. I'm sorry I can't. It's a delay in the chat thing and me
Yeah,
trying to read it
yeah,
on my
yeah.
phone and do this. It's too much. So I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you um, for stepping into the House of Congress for a while. And thank you to all my state reps, because my state reps are the people. So, yes, all you people, you fine people, you beautiful people, you are state reps. And my committee chair, men and women, definitely are my mods. So, shout out to Really BTV and Ebby Reviews. And Jaden Nerd was in here for a hot second. I don't know if Al Teddy is somewhere in the bushes. He probably up in the clouds somewhere. With his, as he says, katana blades, looking for niggles. To whatever. But no, thank you guys for stopping by. I'm not closing it out yet, but just open it up to anybody who wants to say anything. I think if anybody wanted to come on, which I doubt, I think I can post the thing in here, but I'm not sure. So bear with me.
Come on in. Let's get some things talked about. Anybody have any questions for me? Like I said, hmm?
No, I was saying, yeah, that's right. Anybody
Okay.
got
Anybody have any questions for me? Like I said, it's going to be 2020 is the year of mental health. Am so dedicated and so excited to this. And when I start my group, I'm going to have somebody there that can go live on my channel for me, hopefully. And you guys can actually see some of the sessions that I do and just how it's coming along. And I want you guys to see how dedicated and how much knowledge I have that, might not be happening for you right now. But
because there are some bipolar people. I'll
yes,
just say that
diagnosed publicly, diagnosed.
straight like that. Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Straight like
But I
straight.
do want to encourage people to not let their barriers stop them. Whatever your issue is, whatever's going going on in your life, whatever your hindrance is, whether it's mental health, physical health, whatever, you can push through it. You can accomplish and do anything you want to do at any moment. So do not let that hinder you. Be
Yeah,
strong in whatever you're going through and be
not
encouraged.
at all. Definitely. We all we all have our crosses to bear, some on
Yes,
our faces. But you gotta just push through. It's all about
yes,
perseverance.
yes,
You gotta keep pressing and keep pushing. Yeah, there are gonna be some no's, and there are gonna be some people. As my mother would always tell me, there's gonna be some people that don't like you, but
yeah,
you gotta like you enough to know that, hey, it don't matter to me whether you like me or not. I'm good with me. So and in this holiday season, it's very, for some people it gets tough, um, and it's a very depressing and dark time for some people. Um, so I would just like to let them know that you're not alone. Like, yeah,
right,
it's tough and it's hard, but there is more if you just hold out. um, there's greater to come.
yes,
There's greater to
yes,
come. We all fall short, to the glory of the Lord, of course. But it's all about getting up. It's all about getting up and keep pressing and
yes,
keep pushing and knowing that today may feel some type of way. Today may be a bad day, but tomorrow,
yes,
tomorrow will be so much greater.
yes.
So
I'm
yeah.
looking at Abby. She said, "So churchy, just opened up testimony service."
It's in you. You can't do nothing but use it. But
Right.
I just I don't know.
But
Yeah,
it's not. Even though it's funny, Abby. We don't mean to be churchy, but the truth is the truth, and we just
yeah,
here to say it, to present it, because
exactly.
some people may not want to tell their story or tell what's going on in their lives, but what we say could really make a difference. So
Right.
you got to use your platforms to encourage and make a
Yeah,
change, make a difference.
you can always still be silly, but yeah,
Right,
there's a
right.
blessing in everything.
We
Yep.
cut up, trust me.
Oh,
But but at the same time, it's also about encouragement and support and unity, and just really being about making a change. Tomorrow is a new
yeah.
day and new opportunity for God to bless your life. Exactly, Danielle Johnson. Exactly. That's
Hmm.
exactly what it's about. You never know what's happening today. Tomorrow is a brand new day and can change it. So don't stress yourself too much about what's going on today. Let it go. Make peace with it some kind of way.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, my sister. Yeah, my both of my parents are deceased. So yeah, I
Oh
know it gets
wow.
I know it gets hard.
Yes.
But you gotta sometimes hold on to the actual memories of the times you did share, because in those memories are lessons, and there are moments where in which, if you really think about it, they revisit you, even
Yes.
the small moments that you didn't think nothing of when they were living,
Yes.
when they were arguments or things that you was like, man, I can't wait to get up out of here, or
Yes.
whatever the case may be.
Yes.
um when
Man.
Now that you're older and you're in a certain place, even when times when you think about them, you think about those moments, and there's lessons in there that you
Right.
could hear their voice, you could hear their sayings, you could
Mm-hmm.
hear what they would tell you, as almost as if they were standing in front of you talking to you right now. So I think that, yeah, although loss is the feeling of separation, because physically we don't see them, but in the spiritual, in that realm, they're always there because they're attached to you. There'd be no reason, if that was the case, we wouldn't feel lost. If we lost people that were close to us, we would not feel the way we feel if there was really no connection between us and them after they had gone on. So I think just sometimes it can be hard, because it is, it's not always easy, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
move forward in the peace in knowing that they're not gone from me. They may be gone from me physically, but they're not gone from me.
Right. I think Cap, you and I lost our family members on the same year, right?
Yeah, same. Well, my mother passed. in May, and I think your grandmother passed
in
shortly after.
June. Yeah.
Mm,
So, don't cry, it's sister. Like we're just trying to be encouraging, and letting you know that a platform doesn't make you any less human than the next person. So
right.
we're gonna lighten it up though. We're gonna change
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
narrative. We
change
don't
the
want you to cry. Don't
right.
cry, boo. Don't cry.
But we definitely just want you to be encouraged to know
Yes.
that you're not alone. That's
Yes.
all.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Just want you to be encouraged.
So no
But
questions. Nothing. Anybody? Somebody? We're gonna sit here and just chill out until somebody says something.
yeah, right. Okay.
Not.
Not happening.
But I definitely thank you guys for the commentary and the support and just being accepting to what we are talking about today because it's a little different, you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it's not going to be as popular as talking about the mess. When you're talking
Right.
about what's going on in the quote unquote YouTube streets, of course, you get 122,000 views. But when you're talking about
Mhm.
stuff that really matters to people, yeah, you only get a couple of views, and that's fine. I'm good with
Mhm.
it because the people that hear it, it's supposed to hear it. Uh,
Mhm.
so I'm not, I don't feel no type of way about it. Although some people try to crack fun and say, "Oh, go sit there with your 3 views." I'll take my 3 views, but I could see them with both eyes, straight,
Right.
pointed,
Right.
direct.
Right. You know. And when you step up to try to make a difference, you can't worry about what somebody's gonna say. I
Really,
will.
she's coming in 5 minutes. All right, when you
Okay.
come,
We'll be here.
you ain't going
We'll be
nowhere.
here. Ain't going nowhere.
Like a little bit of the feminine energy in the room.
Come on in.
Ah.
You know what?
But yeah, um, no, just really just just this is me. I mean, yeah, most of the time I do um the the political thing because I'm a politic nerd. I'm all into that. But mainly I want, I know this may sound bad, but mainly I want our people to be more informed, more engaged, and more enlightened through their power. Um, And yeah, your power is in your vote. I mean, your power is in your
Mhm.
dollar too, but your power is also in your vote. Do not get it
Mhm.
twisted.
Mhm.
When you put the two together, you can be dynamic,
Mhm.
but you got to know it.
Mhm.
Definitely got to know it.
Yep. And when you take a stance, be sure to take your own stance. Don't vote for what your friends say. Vote for
Right.
what you
Yeah,
believe. Do your research
right.
and go for
Definitely.
what you believe. Stand for it even if nobody else believes in it because it's your vote.
Right.
Your vote, not theirs. Yours.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I definitely don't believe in following, the crowd just because. Definitely do your research. Definitely know who you're voting for. And if the person that you would be more inclined to vote for happens not to make it to be the final candidate, then you press
Mhm.
for that person to say, hey, you press whoever that candidate is to say, hey, you need to adapt this to your platform. You need to look into this in your platform. They have representatives in every state that they visit that you could go holler at and say, hey, he needs to put or she needs to put child care in their platform. They need to put prison reform more in their platform. I need to hear something that affects me. They need to do
Right.
more inner city things or whatever it is that you
Right.
feel you need to be more about you. I see somebody in the background. Are you ready, ma'am? I can't see if she's. Holler at and say, hey, he needs to put or she needs to put child care in their platform. They need to put prison reform more in their platform. Okay, never mind. She's not ready.
Okay. Well, yeah, we are open to.
Are you ready? Child. Are you ready? Can you, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, hey.
Hey, 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 hey.
Oh, my volume isn't on. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I can hear you. You couldn't hear
Oh,
me because I
okay.
was asking you before, but you was busy. I
She getting her hair together.
was, Hey, what's going on, Really B?
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. I think I had. Okay, yeah, I had it open up on another window. Hey, you
Uh,
guys, how you
Hey,
doing? Hey, Mr.
good. How are you?
Credential.
Hey.
I've been enjoying the chat. I just wanted to come in and say hi and support you because you always come on my channel,
Okay.
Captivate Christian. So I wanted to come and
Yeah.
support you on yours.
Thank you.
You know, I was taking me a nap when I got home from work today, and that bed was good. I had to get out of bed, so
I was
I
gonna
made
say,
me
I
get
hope
out
I
of
didn't
bed so I could get my life
from
together.
the nap.
Well, I was only going. I said I was only going. I laid down while Abby was live, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just lay down and listen to her live. Abby, I'm sorry, baby, I fell asleep. Not because you were born, because I was sleepy.
No, it was good. I enjoyed Abby's live.
Yeah, it was. No, it was good, and I think I was there till almost the end. You know, but not because you was born, boo. You weren't born. I enjoyed your live, but I just was sleepy.
Right.
Was sleepy. But I want to. I appreciate what you're saying, Mr. Credential, in reference to mental health. I actually had somebody reach out to me and suggest that I do a panel on mental health. And so I'm actually I asked that person would they be willing to come and share their story, even if it was on a black screen. And they said that they were. So we're going to put something together. And I think it is important to understand that this time of year is hard for a lot of people who suffer from mental health, because it is, I think for those, it's kind of like Mother's Day and Father's Day. For those of us who have our parents, we take it for granted.
Yeah.
But when you don't have that parent, you become a lot more cognizant of the holiday. As I get older, I have more and more friends who are losing parents. And so I've become a lot more cognizant of that. So I know, so for me, October is bad. That's the month that my brother died. So October is really bad. I'm moody. I'm bad in October. October's just not a good month for me. So I know.
May is bad for me because my mother passed right before Mother's Day.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So that was tough.
Well, for me, October on up to about June is rough for me because my grandmother, I'm a big cook. My grandmother taught me how to cook. Her birthday is in March, and then she passed in June. So I'm back and forth, but again, that's why I'm here, because it's all about knowing how to govern yourself and how to control that and just moving forward in it, because it's rough.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing. It is July. Both of my grandmothers have passed. I was lucky. I had both of my grandmothers in my life until my 40s.
Okay.
And for a lot of people, that's not, the norm.
Right.
But then I lost both of them within like less than 2 years. I lost them both. And both of them, their birthday was in July. So that's my birthday. So it's sort of a bittersweet thing, because I always used to celebrate, both my grandmothers were in the same month. And so now it's sort of bittersweet, because I still obviously love to celebrate my birthday. But then when it gets towards the end of the month, when it gets towards their birthday, it gets a little bittersweet. So I think being knowledgeable of that time, I think helps as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, I agree.
Just to go back to some of the people that were saying in the chat, his sister said, if Michelle Obama ever decided to run for president, would you vote for her? I mean, I would, because she's educated as hell.
Right.
She's the most educated first lady that we've ever had, be truthful. But I don't think she will never run. She didn't like it when Obama was in it. She just did it to support her husband.
It was never,
It was never something that she has.
If you read her book, it was never the plan. It was never the plan.
Right.
So,
and it would be sound up for misery.
Yeah, she was kind of for him to be a senator. So it was like,
I mean, when he was, remember that's, I mean, if you read her book, that was when they went through their rocky part of their marriage, when they went to counseling, and I mean, she never made it seem like they were close to divorce, but they were definitely having issues. And it was when he was a state senator, and he was traveling back and forth, and both of the girls were young, and it was basically, she was a single parent. She felt like a single parent, and that's when they had to go to counseling. But she also said she had to check herself, because when she went to counseling, she thought the counselor was just gonna be like, girl, you right, he wrong. And the counselor had to make her sort of take some onus of her own. Yeah. Can I say something, bro? Can I say something?
Yeah, you can say something.
I just want to shout out because I want to switch the conversation, but I do want to acknowledge my little sister, my Bennett little sister in the room, Danielle Johnson. First of all, Danny, thank you for all your support. She's over here supporting you, Captivate Christian, because she's supporting the whole family. But she mentioned her dad passing, and I remember when her dad passing, December, she said is a bad month for her, and I do remember when that happened. Again, we were younger then, and dealing with when you're at that age, when you're in your early 20s, and you're dealing with a friend who's lost a parent.
Yes,
it's hard. And I remember that I remember that, and I remember going through that with her, and as her college family. So I just wanted to acknowledge that she did mention that in the room.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm sorry for your loss, Danielle Johnson, and everyone else that's in the chat that's lost someone. Shout out to you. Shout out to the emotions that you go through. Shout out to your family. And just know that even though I may not know you, you do have support because in some way we are connected because we've been through some of the same things.
Right.
Yeah, but back to Michelle Obama.
Yeah. I agree with Danielle. She said she don't want no part of the presidency, and I agree.
Not at all.
She knows what it does to the family. She would not want to relive that twice.
I think she appreciates the platform she's been given, and I think she's using it well while maintaining a balance of privacy for herself and her family. But she don't want no parts of this. Not at all. Especially after the way they did her family.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. And she had to hold a lot of restraint to not cut some people out because
she's still from the Chi.
Right.
Yeah.
From the outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. She's still from the South Side.
Don't do it.
Yeah, that hood might come out and it's all over.
Right. It's like, cool, you sit there, you can talk about my man a little bit because he could take care of it. But my kids though, yeah.
She was definitely, do y'all remember when Malia's the oldest one, when Malia had her internship out in LA at the studio, and Cara posted that picture and she got all of those pictures taken down. She don't play. She don't play with her kids.
No,
she don't play.
As you shouldn't. Really?
No, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? When you guys were talking about the Bill Cosby piece earlier,
sure.
Christian, can you expand a little bit? Because I've heard this and I've read different things about the whole NBC deal. Hey, Monk Chill, baby. I heard that I heard that there was an NBC thing, but that was years ago. But then I heard, but I heard that it was more recent. I heard. So can you kind of, because I'm be honest, I have not read up on it as much as I'm not as knowledgeable of it. So you can just give me a little more information on, I guess, where the deal was and all that good stuff.
Well, a quick background on what he was doing. His whole background after, he did the Cosby Show and all that kind of stuff. He was just buying up a lot of property and things that were worth a lot of money, like the Beatles catalog and so on and so forth.
That from Michael Jackson's estate?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He had bought quite a bit of stuff. So this was before the OWN network and all that stuff. BET was the only, I guess, black owned network. So he first was in talks with being a partner with NBC. That was first. That kind of fell through because NBC was rocky. They were about to file for Chapter 11, and they wound up making it through. So that deal kind of fell through. So then later on, he went back, and there was an issue with one of the executives feeling that they didn't want to sell it. They didn't want, them to sell it to Bill Cosby. He felt like, well, why not? They were about to go to court. That's how heated it got. They were about to go to court, and then what happened? All this stuff started leaking out, like little by little, drip by drip. It started like, oh, there was an accusation of back in so and so of Bill Cosby drugging a woman, and then it was like, okay, then another one came out, then another one came out, then the whole Me Too movement started to really pick up steam, and they all just came flooding out, and then NBC wound up backing out the deal altogether with even considering selling to him.
Okay, because I always felt like I always believed that Bill Cosby was guilty because you've heard these stories. It's kind of like you were saying with R. Kelly. You heard the rumors.
Right.
A lot. I mean, I heard these stories about Bill Cosby years ago, and there were jokes even being told about Bill Cosby drugging women years ago. But I do think the timing. I always thought the timing was very interesting because those same people that held his secrets. Right. I always wonder why all of a sudden now it's kind of like with the Harvey Weinstein and so forth and so on. It's like, okay, this was the worst. Clearly, this was the worst kept secret in Hollywood. Why all of a sudden now is everybody? So I hear it, and so okay, because I still think the man is guilty. But I mean, and like Ebby said, if you read that deposition, he said he did it. He just I don't think he accepts or understands how bad what he did was.
Yeah.
Right.
No, because he didn't look at it like that. Because again, you get that power sense of which you're not even thinking about the damage you're doing. You're just thinking the person's here, so you here, so you must want it, and this, that, and the other, and you so on and so forth. It's just like dealing how the president's dealing now. You sitting here like you really don't see the mess you in. I didn't do nothing wrong, nothing. Everything was perfect. This was perfect. That's perfect, and it's like that. It's only perfect to you because that's the way you see it, and people are allowing you to continue this. I mean, I would say his wife is at fault too. There's no way you're gonna sit here and tell me you didn't know he was doing this.
Oh, she knew.
You knew he was doing this. You had to know.
Right.
Because they I mean, she knew that he had cheated on her. So I mean that they admitted that of him being right. They admitted that there was infidelity in the marriage. So you knew at the very least you knew your man was a cheater.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay, that's interesting. Like I said, I didn't know the timing of it, of all of that.
He had tried it once before and it didn't, they kind of.
So that must be the one I read about before was when he had tried it before.
Yeah, because NBC was tanking, like the ratings was tanking and everything. This was like before Apprentice really skyrocketed the channel. It was like it started to die down a little bit, and they were looking for something.
Because you think about it, after Friends went off the air, what
what else did they have? Right,
other than Law and Order, what marquee shows did NBC really have for a minute? They were sort of Seinfeld, Friends, all of that sort of wrapped up around the same time.
Right. Disney had bought ABC, so NBC was kind of like, what do? We don't want to go under. They had to support ABC had to support the Disney money, so they were all right.
Yeah, but, and CBS sort of started that whole trend of what we see now on CBS with the NCIS and the and what's the show about the serial killers? I'm talking about the show about the serial killers. Oh shoot. I know Danny know. Danny gonna put it in the chat. I know Danny know what I'm talking about. Oh shoot. With Penelope, Shamar Moore was on there. He left to do SWAT, but Shamar Moore was on there. I can't think of it. Danny's gonna know. Danny's gonna drop it in the chat in a minute.
Oh man, I cannot think. I know what show you're talking about. I just cannot think of the name. Yeah.
They sort of kicked off that whole
Criminal Minds.
The other one, they had CSI. They had CSI, the CSI franchises, the NCIS, and the franchise. So CBS sort of kind of was doing it with the action series thing. So I didn't think about it like that. I guess NBC was sort of in trouble. Yeah.
And I will agree with Monk Chip on this. He said, "Is Monk? Are you a he or a she? Because I don't want to give you."
She's a she, and she's a cutie. She's a cutie.
Okay.
She's a cutie. Criminal Minds. I knew you was gonna say Criminal Minds.
Monk Chip said that she thinks
Abby
that
got it too.
other people use those methods, and I think so too. I don't think he just popped those methods out of his head and was like, "Oh, let me give him Quaaludes and do my thing." I think it was a thing. It was a thing that was taught to him, and he,
Yep. Oh, absolutely. But it was taught to him by those white execs.
Right.
So I have a question, because this is something that is often up for debate. So for Bill Cosby, for example, is someone guilty of anything by continuing to feel the need to support it? Maybe whether it's watching Cosby reruns or with R. Kelly listening to his music, is someone guilty of something for continuing to, what one would say, to support the person?
That's tricky.
That's tricky, but I'll say this. I'll say this in somewhat of an answer to your question. I look at the Cosby Show as being other people being on the show. So then you're supporting other people. Like, yeah, he may have done it, but the show as a whole, he's, I guess, the main character in the title, The Cosby Show, but there's a plethora of characters, to use the SAT word. There's a plethora of characters that you are supporting. As far as R. Kelly, for me, granted, yeah, you may be supporting his family, but he's the solo artist, and his family, but let him do the bullshit. So no, I'm not supporting that. I'm sorry.
I ditto. You actually took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say the same thing. When you think about the Cosby Show, you think about how many other people are when that show when they canceled the show and all of that with the reruns. You think of how many other people were losing out.
We're losing out on money for that. Yeah.
Right. I agree with that.
Versus R. Kelly, even though R. Kelly doesn't own most of his hits, he doesn't own, so he's not making any money. If you play "I Believe I Can Fly," he's making no money off of it anyway.
Right.
I guess it's the fact that it's just him. Solo, So
yeah, his presence really bothers people, because just thinking about how some people believed in him, if you will. So now his presence, I guess the facade that he was putting up, his presence bothers people because they just don't agree with who he is versus who they thought that he was.
Yeah. Because when I go live, I was going to talk about that a little bit when I go live in reference to the girlfriend and what's been in the news with the girlfriend now going public. So I was going to talk about that too.
Okay.
In reference to that, just in reference to that. But yeah, the whole R. Kelly thing, I just see a little differently, because I feel like you said, Captivating Christian, we have, whether you choose to accept it or not, we have undisputed proof. There's a tape. But they want who is clearly below the age.
The face was all in it. I mean, it was like.
The question is, are we all guilty of watching the damn tape? That's what the question is.
Right. Because we all are. That's like, it was like, oh, I don't want. That's disgusting. I don't watch it. Is he really putting his face in her butt? Oh my God! You know what I'm saying? Like it was.
Yeah.
But
even my mama saw the tape, and I was like, "What?
Right?
Did you see the
tape?
What?
My aunt,
if you knew my mother, you would understand.
Right? No, I know, I did it. My aunt has saw it. My mother said, "I'm not watching that mess," but my aunt has saw it. She said, "I saw that mess," and I'm thinking, "What are you doing looking at tape?" But then, soon as he came out with that, "I Believe I Can Fly," everybody was just like, "Oh, holy, a nice song, bless his heart." And he went on to Step in the Name of Love and all that, and y'all still still stepping. As soon as it come on, you're doing all that, but so it's like you if you don't hold the person accountable in the beginning, you can't go back and try to hold them accountable later on.
Exactly.
It's not gonna work.
Exactly.
Abby, that's one of my favorite ones too, girl. That damn Vanessa. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh wow. I'm sorry, it's sister. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish you really well, and that peace and blessings be with you on the 27th tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. That is hard. That is definitely, it's a hard time. I went to a funeral today actually for one of my administrators. His mom passed away. So I know that people, like right now, the family's all together and they're they're celebrating the life of this time next year.
Yeah.
It's going to be really, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely that time of year. It's definitely that time of year.
Definitely want to pray for you and keep you in my prayers, as everybody.
Maybe that's what's wrong with your boy that came after you for your dreads, Christian. Maybe that's what's up with your boy. Maybe it's that time of year. I think that might be what's wrong with your boy. It's that time of year for him.
I know that it's a lot to that dusty head of his and that old. Let me not. That old receding hairline, that Stevie Wonder he got going on. You worried about my locks, and you need to worry about that Stevie Wonder he got going.
Yeah, I don't listen to him anymore. Now let me be honest and let me be fair. For some reason, he's still in because I haven't deleted him out of my iTunes library.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while, when I'm listening to my music, an R. Kelly song will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, it probably take me a good minute and a half to cut it off.
Okay.
And then about halfway through the middle of the song, I'll be like, "Oh hell no, I gotta turn this off." But if I hear it come on the radio or something like that, I'll turn the radio station.
Right.
But yeah, because let me tell you what it is. It's that damn 12 play album. And that's probably the worst one because they said that the song
that was right. That was when he was doing all most of his mess. As the old lady would say, he was sitting in front of the school and she had to be like, "Baby, if you don't get your from
right, like, what? You graduated 10 years ago. Why are you here?"
Right.
At a middle school, sitting there posted
at the McDonald's across the street. Yeah, so I mean, and I know but yeah, I've made a concerted effort to. A lot of his music I can't, because a lot of his music I wasn't crazy about.
Right.
Like, you remind me of my Jeep. We're not doing that.
Right. We're not. No. Not at all.
You don't remind me of my Jeep. But that 12 play. First of all, it's connected to memories for me. You know how music is connected. So that 12 play album is connected to when I was in college, and there was a lot of memories. We would play that CD, and so it's
right. It's tough. Like one of my favorite songs by Mary J is with him called "It's On," and when I think about it, and then I think about was he sexualizing little girls when it's like ew, but I'm addicted to the song. I'm sorry.
When I watched Surviving R. Kelly and they started talking about certain things, and I was connected it to the songs, and I was like, oh damn. Like what was not Bump and Grind, but 12 play. When you listen to the steps, that's what the girls were describing that he would do to seduce them, and I'm like, damn.
It's just hard, man. It's hard, but it's horrible, but it's got to be done because we got to stand for it, man. We got to stand against it, rather.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I would never knowingly give him any money. Like I ain't never.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
He's never getting out of jail.
Right.
Like that woman who won her money back because she posted that bond.
Monk Chip was telling you hi, Mr. Credential.
Hey, Monk Chip. I thought I spoke to you earlier, but hey, how are you?
She didn't know your name earlier. Somebody told her your name. Monk Chip is a sweetheart. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. She gonna hate it, but she is such a sweetheart. But she came down for the meet and greet. She left work. She drove from New Jersey to Maryland, Hinesville, Maryland, to meet James Colwell. Just turn around and drive back to work. She was a sweetheart. She was such a sweetheart.
Okay. Well, for all the locals that are up and down the Del Mar and all that good stuff, when my thing start, I'm gonna definitely let you guys know so you can come through whenever you're free.
Yes. Cool.
Because y'all live in the same area, Captivating Christian?
No, he's in Baltimore.
Oh, you in Baltimore? Okay. Yeah. I thought I heard. I wasn't sure. I thought I heard a little accent. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
No, I mean it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm away from the city violence.
I know it is.
Say dog. Say dog.
Dog. I don't say dog like.
Oh, okay. That dog.
I don't say Doug. I don't say chew.
People from Baltimore that say Doug.
The worst one The worst one is get your pocketbook. Get out my pocketbook. What is a pocketbook? I don't know what that
Yeah, but it is what it is. I know that the issues with language exist, but it's not me.
It's okay. We have, as a New Yorker, we have our own like coffee.
Yeah.
People say they hear from DC. They hear when I went to college. Oh my gosh! And I obviously didn't hear it. I still. It's funny because when I left and went to Greensboro, it was your DC accent this and your DC accent that. Then when I would come home for breaks, they'd be like, "Girl, you've been down there too long. You sound."
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't win.
Yeah. Did you go to A&T?
But I don't hear an accent. I don't hear it. Obviously, I don't hear it.
I don't hear it either in myself, but hey.
Yeah, but yeah, obviously, yeah.
She went to Bennett.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, Bennett College, Greensboro, North Carolina. Yes, darling. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, the Bennett College, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
The Bennett. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Though. Okay, Lincoln. Okay.
I'm just saying. Anyway. But anyway, were you going live after this, or were you doing?
I am. I'm gonna go live. I think I'm gonna give me something to eat, and then I'm gonna go live since I don't have to go to work tomorrow because I'm on vacation.
Okay.
Monday.
Okay. Hey. Well, we're gonna shut this down. We've been on here for an hour and 21 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go live. What time is it? 9, maybe about 10.
Okay.
All right.
Be over to your live at 10.
Heard it here first. Really B will be on the 10.
Well, thanks for letting me come and hang out with you guys. It's always nice to be around all this lovely black chocolate. This beautiful black kings. I was gonna say queen. Black kings,
You got some of this caramels. You got
a king always needs his queen. So
there you go.
Two kings and a queen. Hey.
Oh, and I just want to let you know, Captivate Christian, when I talk to Mother, and Mother has some very direct views on he who must not be named. He was not happy about that attack on you.
Shittamort? You talking about Shitmort?
I like that. I like that name. Yes. Instead of Voldemort, Shitmort. Yes.
Shittamort.
Exactly. I won't forget the biscuits mug chip. I won't. But yeah.
I just thought it was a little unwarranted, a little bit. I mean, I was expecting it. Don't get me wrong. I was expecting it a little bit, but it was like, okay, because I heard it last night too. And I was like,
oh, he spoke on it again last night?
Yeah, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
What did he say about me? I'm sure he said something else about me after my little
Oh no, he said the same thing, you fat.
Oh, okay.
He said the same thing, you fat.
Well, let me know when he bring me something different. I'll worry when it's something
then
different.
It was like, right, but then it was like my dreads was dusty, but then he turned right around and was like, what was that song? There's a meeting in my bedroom. He started singing that.
That's what I don't understand. If you're so dusty, why he wants you? I don't want nobody that I think is dusty in my bed. I'm just saying.
I definitely don't want their dusty dreads in my bed.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Sense. But, and I was like, you know what? It's not even worth getting upset about. Like the first time I was a bit, because I'm like, dude, first of all, you don't know me. And I think what irritated me the most the first time is because you sent me a message like you wanted me to be on your thing. But because I didn't respond or I said, hey, don't do that when I was on El Teddy's thing, then you felt the need to be like, okay, dusty dreads, dusty. And it's like, cool. If that's what you think, cool, that's fine. But, I'll be dusty.
Yeah.
But your hairline's uneven.
Okay.
You look dry. You need some moisturizer. Actually, speaking of moisturizer, I do sell Avon on the side, and they do have perfect moisturizer to fix that dusty, dry look that you have on your face and your chin.
They do. They have some products that could work for him, and that's probably he probably could afford them. Catch them on sale.
I mean,
good deal.
I could give you a couple.
Buy one get one free all the time.
So, I mean, I just don't understand. But
that's what I want to know, Danny. Yeah, did he look up the word plethora? Did he do that? Until you look up the word plethora and can tell me what it means, I'm not entertained.
He still ain't look up the word plethora, no. And I also was like, well, if you're in the bushes, please come down so you don't drip on my hat. So, come down and show yourself.
Well, you get your dusty dreads to be it. Yeah.
Welcome in my bed. Like you said, dusty dreads are welcome in my bed. I know that's right.
Okay.
Thank you,
boo.
Go
back and hear what he was talking about last night. I paid him no mind, so
because it was later. It was late. No, I watched because I wanted to see, because I made that declaration on purpose. Like, if I hear, because what you guys don't realize is, and what Mr. Credential will know, when I hear somebody say my name, it's like what? So
he goes
out of me. Out of me to be like, I'm gonna let it slide. You know what? Fuck this. I ain't letting that slide. So,
yeah.
Because I didn't even know you had done it. I didn't even know.
No, Al Teddy texted me too, like, you wasn't gonna tell me you went like. I was like, it was a prompt too. I wasn't even, because I don't operate like that. I deal with the what you say, like.
Yeah.
So,
El Teddy talking about something I knew. You ain't know no more than we knew, fool.
Right. So, but when I heard it again last night, I was like, whatever, because that's your only line that you got to about. But I got a huge crush on you. I got a huge crush on you, and I'm just like, sir, you're reaching.
Yeah. What is this?
I don't compete where I don't compare. Word to the wise. He should learn that. Because I'm not reading you. I'm not reading you. I'm teaching you.
Well.
Okay. That's why I said you did exactly what I said you were going to do. You talked about me being fat. Did I not tell you that wasn't going to work? Right. Did I not tell you that is not a read? That does not bother me. Did I not share that with you?
Right.
So,
but my whole thing with that is, first of all, he's a man, you're a woman. If you're going to talk about men bashing on women, then don't even take it there. Then bring all your attention to the men.
Right.
Bring all your attention to the men. Leave the women out of it, if that's the case. But no, you're not going to do that. And then he had nerve to say, well, if your dreads are not dusty, then you shouldn't be mad. But who else has dreads that's a man but me and QB? So who you talking about? Because you ain't talking about QB.
Because QB wasn't on the panel with us. He was talking about the panel. I mean, we don't have a panel, but he was talking about who was.
And in that, we don't even have a panel. We just get on and hang out. Like that's all it is. But don't be jealous because you don't have the sauce we have. And it was all like, well, no, they're jealous of you because of the person that you're about to be, or the person you're about to be. I'm not worried about the person you're about to be. If it's any proof of the person you're about to be,
you or you're jealous of him.
They were saying him. We're jealous of him.
Oh, child.
Person that he's going right, because I'm like, the person you're about to be, the people that you were with surpassed you. So what do you mean about to be?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm with Abby. That's why I stay on the porch. But sometimes you get called off the porch. But I try to stay on.
And Al Teddy was like, "Why did you jump off? So you just gonna leap off the porch?" I said, first of all, I wasn't even on that porch. I live across the street down the block.
But that's not my porch, sir.
I haven't been invited. Into the house. So I just keep my butt in my house. But if you come for me, don't worry about it. I'm the answer.
Yeah. But I understand, because I didn't plan to do the video yesterday. I didn't plan it. I was just on my way home from work, because earlier in the day I had been talking to James, and me and him had talked about some things. And on my way home from work, I was just like, I got some things I want to say. You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't want it to interfere with my live. I want my live to be separate. That's why when he yesterday, I didn't even acknowledge him. I just blocked him and kept it going. I didn't acknowledge him in the room. I didn't say nothing. because that's what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to, and I was like, no, I'm gonna keep my live separate. That's why I did that little 5-minute blurb. Right. And then I went on with the rest of my day. I understand that though. Sometimes you just gotta get it off your chest.
Yeah, that's it. And it was like, after this, you won't get no more. So you can continuously say My Jersey Dry, which they are very moist.
Thank you. I will help you moisturize them.
You're more than welcome to, and anybody else
other than Cyclops. All right, well, I'm gonna let you guys go, but thank you for letting me come on and hang out for a little while, you guys.
Of course, anytime. And thank you so much to the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for participating. It's been a great one. Thank you, everybody. Please follow Mr. Credential. Yes, he doesn't have anything up right now, but he will have some content pretty soon.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Please follow and subscribe. And please, be on the lookout for his content. And until then, he will be visiting his best friend's page because.
Thank you guys for the support once again. It's been awesome, and I love the energy that you all have in the chat and on the live, and even on the lives that I have not been on. The energy is great, so I dig it. So I'm here for it.
All right, hold on, Mr. Credential. Say something in the chat so people can just click your name on the chat.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm trying to do.
He is the chairman of the committee. Okay.
I forgot I got a new title too. I'm a chairwoman.
You're a chairwoman of the committee.
I'm a chairwoman and everything.
Yeah. Of course, I'm the speaker of the house because it's my house.
All right. I just subscribed to Mr. Credential. I just subscribed.
I appreciate that.
Yes. And all my state reps, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, my sexy state reps. So you make sure you rep your state. So yeah.
Well, I don't have a state. I'm a colony, but it's all good. We can talk about that another time.
Yes. Yeah. Taxation without representation.
That's it right here. DC, that's us.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Right.
All right, y'all. Well,
thank you so much. It's been a great blessing. We've learned some things. We've took it to church a little bit, and sometimes it will happen. And we had a little fun, just a little, in the words of QB, a little light.
Little light.
A little light, in the words of QB. But seriousness, thank you all for stopping by. Please remember to register to vote, to start to at least pay a little bit of attention to the candidates and what they're offering thus far. And always remember, as I always say, please be the change that you want to see. So in order to see change or want change, you have to be the change. All right. So with that, peace. And we're out. Good night. Okay, I did it right this time.